Welcome to another SOP live stream of Rate. Whoa, wait a minute. This wrong channel. Hold on. We gotta hold on.
Kill the spider! Kill the spider!
I'm working at it. I'm working on
The
it.
spider.
No, you don't want to eat that dang thing. It's already on fire. It's getting well cooked.
Add some sauce to it. Eat it. Eat it. Why waste the food?
All right. I'm not feeling pretty tonight. My makeup artist done quit on me again, so y'all get to look at my computer instead. So
Okay.
we have Miss Mouse and read the bottom screen. While Miss Toes is in the house, put away all mouse traps. Thank you, please. Thank you. Okay, now we've got that one out of the way. We'll show everybody this one. And we've got Gear Grinding. Al's trying to be mean and not share his food. We got a Gil in here.
Yeah, it's Sunnyside eggs, chili sauce, and canned sardines over couscous.
We got Mary Beth. There's Al. There's Gil again. There's Gear. Mary Beth. Okay. There's Texas Rob, Suburban Hillbilly, Diggers, Shady Hill Homestead. I think that's everybody at the moment.
Oh, Nina just came in.
There's Miss Discover Sustainable, Miss Nina. Y'all want to see a homegirl getting it done by herself? Go down, check out Discover Sustainable. She be down south getting it done. Treasures in Kentucky.
Yep.
I am not too far away from Cincinnati. That's where I be at.
He listens to
Froze.
He listens to WKRP.
No, I do not.
I don't think
Listen,
you're
Star
alive.
93.3. Thank you very much.
Did we get Dig?
Yep, I got digs. I'm going to throw this out there for those who understand this following comment. It's awful funny that we were all brought together by one person into one area, and now we're all still together, even though that one's not.
Well,
I guess that explains where the problem really lied. But anywho, so tonight is what's on your minds concerning what's going on around this country. I'll start. This may kill my stream. The world is falling to pieces. Climate change is real. It is because of man, but it's because of sin, not carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. Let's see what else. The sun is not going into grand solar minimum, contrary to some other YouTube channels. The Bible is 100% correct. It's prophetic, and it's happening. Let's see. My local school district, the one that Charles goes through, we have 3 new people trying to get into the Board of Education. They say education, not indoctrination. They want to teach pride in America, not critical race theory, because that is racism at its core. Go do your research if you don't believe me. Parents first. They are the first and final authority. I like that one. Responsible finances with controlled spending. And real transparency, full disclosure of finances and curriculum.
Really?
Yeah.
Acting proper? Wow.
Yeah. Miss Carolyn Burton, Ray, I'm going to butcher his name, Guerrier, Gaier, and Scott Schrader. True conservatives for King's School Board. I like the sounds of that.
Me too.
See, there is Mr. Bruce. I see him sneaking in now.
Hey, Bruce.
I sent you an easy mail too there, Bruce. Doesn't mean it went through. We all know how corporate America is taking over tech and how tech is taking over our ability to do things. Ms. Rebel Canners is up in the house.
So, folks, if you want to replace your mind with a new cell phone with AI to help you think, you can get it now at your local Apple store. How old? And remember, folks, the FBI's #1 hit list is your parents and the PTA. They're considered domestic terrorists.
Not in my school district.
I never thought the PTA was a domestic terrorist unit. I thought the
Only
Taliban.
only if they disagree.
Well, the problem is, let's not take this problem out of context. The context is a boy wearing a dress went into the girls' bathroom and assaulted a girl. The school district did absolutely nothing. Same said boy went to another school district and did the same to another girl. So if the first school district would have done something in the beginning like it should have, instead of trying to sweep it up underneath the carpet because they didn't want to, I don't want to hurt his little feelings, the second girl would have never been assaulted. So it falls back on the school district for failure to do its job in education and protecting our children. Does that make me a terrorist because that's the way I feel? Well, I guess I am. And Miss Teresa, I seen you sneak up on in here. Hello. Miss Emma sneaking up in here as well. We're up to 13 fine people out in the chat. Garden State Gardener. Bruce must have had to go get coffee.
Always.
Yeah, because I thought the chant would bring him up here.
No. It doesn't work with him. He's so used to sirens and everything else. It just sounds like something he doesn't want to hear anymore.
Ginger.
Miss Ninja. Good evening.
And for those who are wondering why I'm looking over the side here, because I got StreamYard in front of me on this big monitor. And on this monitor over here, I have YouTube where I can actually type into.
Yeah. For those who don't use StreamYard or other streaming platforms, like, I'm not going to say them because I'm not going to give them the advertising time. But most of them do not let panelists, guests up on the chat, type directly into the chat. So they have to circumvent it by having YouTube open in another window.
Yeah, exactly. Or two devices or whatever.
Which is what Al does. He runs two devices and gets confused between the two and wants to throw one out the window and the other one at us.
Yeah. And later on my stream, I'll be running two devices with 3 monitors.
Oh, boy. Scotch Brite.
It's okay. It's okay, Emma. We'll take the weight off your shoulders. We'll do it up here for you.
If you ever make a red pepper sauce using Scotch Brite, only one, folks. Oh, that's hot.
Scotch Brite? I don't eat Scotch Brites. Thanks anyway. It's a little hard on the teeth.
It's a hot pepper from the Caribbean. Really good. Brings out the tang out of bad food, like couscous, dried sardines, and over easy eggs. Survival food. I think I killed Dave.
Dig had to go take care of Zeus. When Zeus calls, you open the door. You do not want a pile of Zeus leftovers on your floor.
No.
Yeah.
I just
Emma, nobody's been able to figure out YouTube, how they work.
Well, ask the
Why have I been unsubscribed? Why am I subscribed to this channel I never even seen before? I had that one happen to me.
Yeah, I have several weird ones too, but like I said.
Yeah, I went through last week and went through, checked all of the ones I'm subscribed to. I had to unsubscribe to 10 different channels that I never even heard of.
Right. Same here. And they're like, okay, I didn't put anything on a trans channel. Delete. I didn't do for the leftist movement of America. Delete.
I did not subscribe to Pelosi's channel. Delete.
Or Schumer. Not Amy Schumer, the other Schumer. Delete.
Either one of them, actually. They can.
Chucky.
I know.
They can both stay in New York. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
They can both go to Europe.
I know mouthfuls, but I like hot peppers.
I have a suggestion. For every person that lives here in the United States of America that enjoys their free will, to do as they please, that want to go vandalize, destroy things, I want you to go visit my friend, Mr. Vladimir Putin, over in his country. He has got a hospitality wagon just waiting for you guys to go over and do that very same stuff.
Yeah,
got it bad here.
Ex-Spez.
No. You think the cops are bad here? our cops are kids with diapers on compared to these boys over there.
Yeah,
They
used
don't-
to be
they
Speds
don't-
workers.
They don't ask questions. They don't walk up to you and say, "Were you here on this date and time?" No, they walk up, smack you in the back of the head with the billy club, throw cuffs on your butt, then ask you 3 or 4 weeks later, "Were you there? Good evening, Mr. Bruce."
Or now, were you there? Why were you there?
That's if
Why
they're
you
being
were
polite.
Yeah, why you were causing trouble? Get out the electrodes.
Yeah. In Russia, they're not so polite. Cops don't mess around over there. They use
Right.
billy clubs for a reason. They ain't gonna take no. They ain't gonna take no crap.
Right, actually, it's a modified wire sap with a lead end. It's covered with rubber, and it's supposed to be more humane. You ever got hit with one of those? It hurts like hell.
I've
And
been hit with
I
a
know
willow
what
switch.
the GPs are like, the German police.
Mhm.
yeah,
Same difference.
and the Stasi.
Who do
Remember
you
the
think
Stasi,
trained the
Bruce?
Germans,
Yep.
the Russians?
I met a guy who he was hunting Stasi after the wall fell down, and a lot of those guys went to Argentina. They ran. They thought if it was good enough for the Nazis, it's good for us. Man, they were wrong. The Nazis don't like Stasi either over in Argentina. And you had, remember the 90s, they had a lot of shootings and they had the invasion of the Falklands.
Mhm.
Yeah. You didn't want to be a German in Argentina during the 90s.
And for those people who keep wanting free stuff handed to them, oh, the government gonna hand me another free $5,000 this year. I suggest you go take a look down in Venezuela to see how that worked out for the common person down there. Hint, spoiler alert, turned out really bad.
Really.
Yeah.
Oh, and also check at the border. That's not Mexicans crossing the border. That's Venezuelans trying to get into America.
Oh, it's
Save us
actually
from
people
Rusia.
from just about every country but our own.
Right.
And we got people from our own country finally saying, "I want out of here." And they're trying to leave, but the borders are closed. They can't leave.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have a fine solution. I know a bunch of North Koreans who want to escape. We do a swap. We get the North Koreans that we like. You could get all the people who wants to leave the United States. Enjoy.
No,
your
actually,
new
most of
leader.
the people that are wanting to leave the U.S. are, pardon me. Most of the people I know that want to leave the U.S. are actually good, honest Americans who are just sick and tired and fed up of the baloney that is poured out of the government's mouth down to us common people. And they're just sick and tired of it. They don't want to be here no more. This isn't the America they grew up in. This isn't the America that they fought for.
Yeah.
It's not the country that they want to be around. Good evening, Mr. J.I.T. Will.
Hi, Will.
I'll be thee.
Remember,
Doc
Will has
Kraken.
a show. Hi, Kraken. Will has a show on Monday, the 25th. In the morning. Check local term.
Well, you know what? Here, I give another little spoiler alert. If you're a Bible follower, there's this little word called harpazo. That tells me with the biblical events that are unfolding at an unprecedented rate that we all ain't gonna be here much longer. Now, should the Lord tarry, and so be it. I'm still waiting for His Son's return. Boy, it got real quiet real quick.
No, I'm just thinking of something. I was thinking.
I got a
way
mouthful
way
of
to
Scotch
talk
Brite.
Oh, I
Wait,
thought
Gil
Doc,
was thinking. I
Wait
could see
to
the
talk-
smoke pouring out
I was-
of his ears.
just going to say the same thing.
what I was thinking about was, Dave, what we were talking about beforehand that I was reading to you. How to say
Look.
that in code so you don't get stomped on by the
Okay,
wingnuts.
let me rephrase it this way. In what picture, video, or otherwise have I indicated any inclination of caring how they feel?
Okay. Well, I figured out how to refer to the one organization by substituting the name of a band, ACDC.
They definitely an alternating current, that's for sure.
Right.
The way they changed their mind. Oh yeah. Well, what it was is this morning I got from I'm subscribed to what's called Martinez Patch. Patch is a nationwide network of news organizations that have local stuff and everything else, on it. And so what I got was, go back here to the main leader on it. It says, new holiday guidance in California, what the ACDC says on masking and travel. And then when I got into it, the ACDC recommends that most Californians continue to wear a mask indoors, public settings, big hyphen thing, even if they are fully jabbed against the and anyways, it's just like, oh really? So you want them to wear masks that several months ago you said the paper masks do absolutely nothing to stop the red dragon, yet the mask is better than being jabbed for preventing the red dragon? Read between the line, folks. And then down farther here, it goes, the agency also recommends full masking for fully jabbed people in communities that with substantial to high transfer rates. Good news is California is the only state where the transfer rate is considered moderate. Bullpucky, because Idaho is way lower, and I've been tracking the numbers of both.
Did anybody notice that the disease hit England this morning? Really bad.
I didn't see that.
It was in Microsoft News.
Distraction.
Yep. I don't really care. We got 1 month, and then the big one hits.
Yeah.
Little dramatic effect.
Yes, he could, Mouse. Garden State brings up, with the drought becoming more and more widespread, why are we adding people? I thought Dems believe in science. They have definitely pulled the wool over your eyes, sir. Or man, I can't remember.
All right, I gotta share. I gotta share this one.
Oh boy. All right, duck and cover. Grab your piss pots. For those from the
this
service, they know what that
this
means.
is the article in the Martinez patch. I'm looking at this. High is red, substantial is orange, moderate is yellow, low. Okay. I'm sorry, but Alameda is almost just a high, if not higher than Contra Costa County, which is right above it there, right above the hand there. The hand there. That yellow is Alameda. One above it is Contra Costa. Alameda has more. I can't
tell. You moving that hand too much. It's all. I mean, now you were just out in the middle of the ocean with it.
Come on, stay there, Mouse. All right, right there where it's at now. That yellow right above it is Alameda County. The orange above that is Contra Costa County, and I've been tracking the numbers there because that's where my family is. And Alameda has a higher transmission rate than Contra Costa.
Right, but if you guys notice this, all the moderate, substantial and moderate are all blue areas of California, and all the red areas are red areas, Republican areas of California.
Yeah. This map is through its teeth because the numbers I've been running. It's the only thing that's true is up here where the blue is up here by Lake Tahoe. That county practically has zip.
Right, because you just had a big wildfire, and now they have snow.
No. That's the Orange County above it had the wildfire. The blue, the entire health department are right wing. They're not reporting fake numbers.
Also, this map's crazy because some of the substantial is Death Valley. There's nobody living out there.
Exactly.
Say, that's the desert out there. What the hell?
Right.
Yeah, come on now. Hey, all right, stop now. Now, remember back when this frost first started, we had birds, cats, dogs, and iguanas getting sick. So, we got
they're out there. They're out there testing all the cats and coyotes and everything else out there.
Hey, I mean, it's plausible. Not possible, plausible.
Yeah. All right. So that's
Mark Twain said about
the
maps and figures.
That's the whole thing from there. And Yeah, it starts getting more into the deep malarkey. I'm going to stop sharing that.
Well, you know what?
Right.
I can understand you avoid the crowded, densely populated, unventilated areas.
Yeah.
I do that on a normal basis to begin with. I
Mhm.
don't go to bars. I can't stand the smell of most of them.
Yeah.
So I can understand that one. Let's see. Wear a face diaper in my house with family for the holidays. Not going to do it.
Yeah.
Wear a face diaper walking around outside between one building and another. Not going to do it.
Well, the reason I won't do it is because when we were going through medical training at the hospital, the doctors all told us that that was a bunch of BS. And that was back 4 years ago. I
Right.
said,
Well-
you know what? It's not going to save your butt because it's not doing anything. It's not filtering anything out because the microbes are too small. And that was
Right.
5-6 years ago.
Well, the funny thing is, 20 years ago, back when the flu was a lot bigger than what it is now, mind you, we've eradicated the flu now. They told us back then that standard paper masks
Are
or
useless.
the things that they tell everybody to wear now, which is them stretchy cloth things that have holes big enough to drive a gnat through, do actually absolutely nothing to prevent the flu from transmission.
Yep.
All
Right.
they do is prevent your sneeze, the fluids from your sneeze, keyword
From
sneeze,
spreading.
from going all over the place. Your breath still goes through it.
You know
I
I
one
found something
thing.
interesting here. I got to share this back.
Okay.
I actually found something. Bottom line here: do not put masks on children younger than 2 years old. That should be 12, but 2 years old.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I say, something we can agree on. Yeah, but it should have a 1 in front of that too for 12 years old
Right.
because they don't
You
know how to
suffocate
properly
kids.
breathe when they got a mask on.
Right. And you guys use a weird mask, not like in Japan, where we have it fitted for younger children. Not like
Yeah.
in America. You're trying to kill your kids.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
in all honesty, Teresa, the only ones that actually work are NBC filter masks.
hmm
Yeah.
And that's only if you have the proper filter.
and the
Right.
proper headgear for it.
True.
And it makes sure it fits your head properly.
Yeah.
And in
And
order
make
to
sure-
do that, for those who've never had one on, you're going to have to be hooked up with somebody who's been in the military, who's learned how to put that on in less than a second.
Right.
You hear large boom, mask is on your head, and you're facing the opposite direction on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
NBC
And
Training
folks-
101.
And put your
Do not
fingers in your
buy
ears so when
you-
the heat comes over and it melts your ears, you can hear afterwards when you pop your fingers out of your ears.
Folks,
Well, that's what they
do
trained
not
us.
buy
basically.
Oh, yeah.
old surplus gas masks. I keep telling this to people. They are garbage. There's only about 2 I could trust. Everything else is garbage. The
The only
Soviet
ones I'd buy
stuff.
right now are the Israeli ones, and Israeli ones that you can order, which take a few weeks because they do come from, holy cow, Israel, are
Right.
the only ones that actually have child-size ones that you can order as a general public that will actually fit children.
Right, but they're out of the NBC.
You
Filters?
need to look where you need to go shopping better places. That's
Yeah.
all I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But be careful because a lot of the hog gel, the side filter ones, they're either outdated or some of those masks are leaking asbestos from the filters into the mask. So you're trading off germs for asbestos, especially the Iron Curtain ones.
Oh yeah. It's from Russia or China. Yeah.
How about Yugoslavia? That was a great one.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to discount what you're saying, Teresa, but I'm just saying, and those of us who served in the military, who've went through training that covers very, very tiny microbes, nuclear fallout, which is one of the things that these are designed to help protect you from breathing it in. It doesn't protect your skin, obviously, but from breathing it into your lungs, which gives the
Beta particles.
right. I'm trying to think of the medicine we take.
Which
Oh,
one?
you're talking about
Iodine?
the iodine?
Yeah, the potassium iodine that you take, it gives your body a chance to actually take that in and help fight it. If you breathe it in, the potassium iodine isn't going to do you a darn bit of good.
Right, and it's usually
So-
alpha and beta particles you have to worry about. In the first 24 hours of a nuclear attack, those 2 particles will kill you.
Yeah.
Also, the plastic suit do not protect you from radiation.
Yeah.
Even in the Air Force, I have to slap people in the back of the head. It doesn't protect you from radiation. It keeps the particles off of you.
But
They
anyway,
still don't
back to
understand
the
Yeah.
filter.
reality.
Right. The filters is what I was referring to. These masks, these cloth diapers, and that's all they are. And matter of fact, I wouldn't even put one of these on the back of a baby's bottom because it ain't going to stop nothing there either.
Nope,
Liquids are good
bleaching.
and other fluids are going to come pouring right through it.
Yeah.
So if a baby's butt can destroy one of these face diapers, they ain't stopping nothing else.
Yeah. But now one of the things is when when I went through hazmat training, when I was working construction and became a site safety officer for a Superfund site,
Nobody said
it
that,
wasn't
Emma.
it wasn't a short little 4-hour class. This was a whole week-long class, 40 friggin' hours. And we were taught how to breathe with simple N95 masks on, how to breathe with a half-face respirator, how to breathe with a full-face respirator. And it's if you breathe properly and think about your breathing, it's actually not that hard. I actually ticked off the instructor because I'd been taking some yoga and some martial arts training for breathing control and everything else a long time before that. And I had a 30-minute air pack on. Well, 45 minutes later, he sees me out there still doing stuff, comes over looking at us. He goes, "You still got 5 minutes? You've been out here for 45 minutes." I go, "Yoga breathing." He just spun the dial and just bled all my air off, so I had to get out of there quick.
And as far as Emma's comment, nobody said we were going to get attacked. Although China did, and so did North Korea, just test a new missile.
The only one's
Except-
crazy enough is North Korea.
Right.
Well,
China's
actually,
a
no.
hyper-
Kim Jong Un and Xi Jinping are both brothers in arms. It's a well-known fact. It's not hyperbole or anything like that.
Mhm.
One feeds off the other. One gives the other one technology, and it is what it is. So, is it a
and one
plausible
holds a gun
thing?
to the other guy's head.
No, I don't even think they got to do
Because-
that really. But that's also because I don't think
Ah,
Little Rocket Man is actually Little Rocket Man anymore. The guy that
Yeah.
is portraying him seems to be a whole lot younger and a lot thinner.
yeah.
But hey, what do I know? I just have eyeballs and use my head.
Right. He could have been dead or replaced, or it's one of his brothers. But to answer Emma's question, it's not your grandfather or father's nuclear war. Either Dave, Bruce, or me. It's not that kind of nuclear war. It's hypersonic warfare. A lot of people get confused. I have to do a video on it. Do you understand what's a hypersonic missile? North Korea does not have hypersonic.
Yes,
China
they
has
do.
what?
Yes,
Do
they
they?
do. Yes,
They
they
have
do.
a hypersonic.
Yes, they do.
That's what they're saying they just tested from the submarine.
It is
Mhm.
hypersonic. The one that was launched from the sub is hypersonic.
Okay,
It was
I
put
got-
in two. It was put into two news organizations. One
If
news
it's Global
news
Times,
organization.
I don't trust.
One of them immediately pulled the story down and rewrote it. The other one completely pulled the story down, period. All the other news agencies are running a redacted storyline. Okay.
Okay.
They tested a hypersonic. Where'd they get it? They got it from China. Anybody that's
so-
been in the military recently in the last 20 years who have friends in the military can get information that they're not supposed to really have out here in general public.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm still wondering how they launch a hypersonic off a sub.
Same way
It's not
we do.
hard. It's the same way they launched rockets out of the ground. You have
Right.
you have a pre-stage that gets it up out of the water, and you need to watch a couple of those sub launches, especially with the heavier missiles that they're using nowadays. They have a pre-stage that gets it about 20 to 25 feet above the surface of the ocean from wherever it's launched from, whatever depth. Once it breaks free and gets about 25 feet up, it jettisons its outer cocoon, just like a rocket going into space. Then it fires off its primary rockets.
Right. Kraken? No. It's not made in China. Clinton gave that in 1998 to China.
Actually, the U.S. does not have any at this moment. They are still in testing.
Right.
Matter of fact, down in Florida, this week they were testing some. I haven't heard the results because you won't hear it in the media.
Ah,
Where did I put that?
hey, Hedgehog.
I lost it.
I think that's Chris. Hey, Chris.
All right.
Hey, Jog. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't want to burp on screen.
And there's now have you seen what One American News, if are they covering it?
I haven't checked today. I've been busy trying to deal with other things.
Yeah, because if the far left wing that pull it down, they run it usually banner headlines.
Oh, it depends. That's one of those. I don't care who you are, you don't run it type stories unless you redact and change and do this. And Fox is the same way. Every news station, I don't care who they are, they're kowtowing to because they're afraid, oh no, if we ain't careful, we'll get pulled off this platform. And we don't have enough subscribers or people who are paying to watch our stuff on these other platforms. We've got to be able to stay on YouTube. Even though they sit there and scream up and down, we've got this other platform. But you go check that other platform and they have maybe 15, 20% of their normal viewership. People don't want to go to these other platforms. I don't want to have to go make a whole new account, try and download over 200 videos to this new account, and then beg people, will you please go check my other account, please? No, I'm not doing that. YouTube takes me down. I may start another one. I may not.
I don't really care myself. Remember, folks, if you're not ready, next year is going to be really fun. Nobody ever reads history. I keep telling people, do you know what happened in 1922? Everybody looks at me with a blank stare on their face. It's like teaching Sunday school about Judea. Okay? It's going to be a year in blood. What starts in 1922? Irish Anglo War, Irish Civil War, Irish Anglo Revolution Part 2. And by 1926, everything was settled. Ireland looked like what World War I was 10 years earlier. Everybody was shooting at everybody. They couldn't trust anybody because there were super grasses. People will think on their brother, on their cousins. So father versus son, son versus daughter, daughter versus mother, mother versus son. Everybody was shooting everybody in Ireland.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking here at another news thing online here, AmericaHQ.org. One of their headlines: CNN accidentally allows someone to tell the truth on air.
Doesn't happen very often.
Doesn't happen very often. They were scrambling to kill it.
How many people got fired for that one?
I haven't read the. I've just
Mostly
seen the thing.
interns, people that don't make a difference.
Right.
All right. As far as the hypersonic goes, depends on its payload, more or less. If it's a heavy series of multiple re-entry vehicles, for those who don't know what that is, that means multiple nukes sitting in the nose. It will be very high up. If it's a single warhead, it will be low and to the ground. And when it goes by your head, all you're going to hear is a boom. You're pretty much only going to see a streak. The ones that go way up high will more than likely be used initially as EMP devices. That way they can salvage as much of what's on the ground as possible.
Yeah.
The next nuclear war will not be a bunch of orange clouds on the ground.
Nope.
There'll be a bunch of orange clouds in the sky.
Yep.
This is interesting. One of the headlines here: the hidden blessings of the supply chain crisis. I got to read that article. See, find out what the hidden blessings are. Oh, Chinese stuff. Chinese stuff is not making it to port on time. People buying American.
Let me give for those who don't understand a truck driver's life. Mind you, I did it for the better part of 30 years. I've got over 3 million verifiable miles under my belt. And for some people, they're going to say, oh, there ain't no way. The average truck driver, the average, and I drove above average, covers 100,000 miles a year.
Or more.
Well, like I said, average. I was above average. Matter of fact, my logbook has more unlogged miles than logged miles. That being said, You don't just throw some 17 or 18-year-old inside the cab of a truck and say, there you go drive it. For one, they're 10 plus feet wide, 72 to 75 feet long, depending on the tractor. Some are shorter. Some have to carry 2 trailers that are 28 foot each.
30
you don't
in
back them up.
Idaho and Nevada.
If you're on the turnpikes in most states, you can have 3. So, yeah, you don't back up a set of doubles or triples unless you're extremely qualified.
Right.
Backing into a dock with just a single trailer takes a lot of practice and skill. It's not something you can just jump into do. Another one, you're not going to get no 17 or 18-year-old unless he grew up on a farm handling a stick shift that has 12, 15, 18 gears, because they're going to get confused real quick.
Big time.
And a majority of the people in the National Guard do not have the experience level to drive a truck across this
A
country.
heavy truck, heavy.
Yeah,
Not one of
80,000
the-
pounds.
Any truck.
Now, a straight truck, a city truck that's got 2 axles,
Maybe.
total of 6 tires, that has 25,000 pounds or less. Yeah, they can get. Most of them can drive one of those. They drive Deuce and a half, some military training. They can handle those. You're not going to get somebody inside an 18-wheeler going down the major interstates.
No,
Not going to happen.
they used to,
What's
but they
that
quit
say?
that program when I left the Air Force. They
Eastbound.
quit doing that. A lot of people
Ooh.
didn't know that part of the federal highway system were supposed to train in the 3 branches: Army, Navy, Air Force, not Coast Guard, to drive diesel trucks, the big ones. Because I had guys who were supposed to meet B-52s on recovery landing on U.S. freeways. Now we could talk about it because it was stupid as hell. I'm like, they're going to really land on I-5. Yeah, you got to go out there with the trucks. I'm looking at
Well,
them like,
those plans, at least, and Bruce, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because my memory is getting a little foggy at my old age. Those plans were designed basically initially so tanks could be able to drive on the highways. The highways were originally designed back when this was first put into practice. The highways were designed to carry our heaviest tanks on the highway with no issues.
Yep.
They were also supposed to be designed wide enough that a plane could land, such as a C-130,
or
so they could
B-52.
pick up supplies or drop off supplies for a catastrophic event here in the U.S., i.e. war of some sort. That's why all the highways originally were designed as wide as they were. And the roads were, literally 1.5 foot thick of concrete. Nowadays are 12 inches of asphalt. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to drive a tank across most of our highways right now without it falling partway through.
Yep.
So they've taken the original plans, which were designed to protect the United States, and just kind of threw them out the window. Oh, we don't have to worry about nuclear war no more. Let's just take our plans and throw them out the window.
Yeah, I mean, Kraken has it right there. Eisenhower, having seen the Autobahn in Germany, is what he wanted the interstate system to be designed as, because they were landing planes over there in Germany on it. They were driving the tanks out, moving everything on it. That's what he wanted to have here in America, to be able to move stuff around quick.
Right. And also they were launching the early jets off the Autobahn.
Yep.
Had great
Hey,
effect,
Dig.
and they were knocking our bombers out of the sky.
Hey, Dig, I bet you I know of a few places on 79 they could, as long as they had JATOs. Because there's a steep enough mountain going up. If they had JATOs, they'd be able to take off. Landing, it's a different issue, but
Parachutes in the back.
Well, if you
And if-
notice on the interstates, when you have curves, you'll have curves, but then you'll have typically about 1.5 miles to 2 miles of straightaway after the curves. That's why.
Yeah. When if you drive 80 across the United States, especially in Nevada, you'll have a long, 4 miles, 5 mile stretch, then turns. Then you have a long stretch, and then it turns the other way, and it kind of zigzags as it does that. And as it zigzags, so it can pick up different wind directions too.
If
It
you
is
look
big.
in Ca-
It goes either one way all the time, or it turns this way, and they want to be able to use those winds wherever they're at.
Right. If you look at the California map, that's why they put in I-5, because during the 50s and 60s, people were idiots and instead they built around 99, so you can no longer use them as landing areas for B-52s or KCs. So they switched to the I-5, and there's some areas in California, Central California, it's totally flat and totally straight. You can land a whole fleet of them toe to toe without crashing into each other. My duties were to take
AP2E.
down the light poles and fix up these stupid things into lighting beacons so they could come down and land into I-5. And was like, do you know how many light poles I have to take down and plus do security? Yeah, that's why you're here. Go out there. I'm looking at them like, who designed this in the 70s? Remember, end of the 70s, 78, 79, looking at them like, these people are crazy.
And nowadays, with the way cities over-sprawl places, most of the highways right now wouldn't accommodate a Learjet, let alone a C-130 Hercules.
True.
Okay, I mean, again, what was originally designed to help protect this country is long gone, as well as some of the politicians that used to be around that wanted to protect this country are long gone as far as military members. Now, I did see today that General Colin Powell passed away. Now, while I don't agree with 90% of what that man had to say in the recent years, he was still a superior officer, and I salute him for his service. Doesn't mean I agree with him.
Right. I got a few more minutes before I go over to Gil's channel. Is Gil frozen?
Looks
No.
like it.
Maybe. I thought he was just deep in thought.
Let me,
There, oh, maybe. Oh,
hang on.
give it a good swift kick in the right corner. That usually works for me.
Hi, P2E. P2E's here.
Yeah, I'm back
Welcome
now.
back. Don't worry, I won't give up. my
I
big
love
job.
that TV show. Vinnie Barbarino and Horseshack.
Right.
Oh,
Whatchamacallit? Welcome back, Carter.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Back from
think
when I was a child.
Oh,
I'm
Mike
trying to
went out.
remember. The pretend wife died. Horseshack died. They died from cancer for some reason, but they smoked a lot back then.
Yep.
Of course, everybody smoked a lot back then. Either the funny ones or the regular ones. Uncle Alan has one lung still operational because I used to smoke the regular ones. Marlboros, Lucky Strikes, Camels without filters. Who smokes with filters? I never smoked a filter. Remember, Bruce, they used to have the old commercial, Virginia Slims. You're a lady when you have a filter. Well, I'm not a lady. Give me a Camel. Now everybody smokes.
If you
with
could
a
only
filter.
see my face.
My
But again, you're
dad
looking at my
used to
computer.
smoke Pall Malls,
True.
but he never smoked them around the kids. Never in the house, always down in the barn or in his truck when he was driving around.
My
Right,
dad was
but-
the same way. My sister, she came by here a couple months back, maybe only 2 months back. I don't remember. Anyway, she brought my dad's smoking jacket. Now, mind you, my dad passed away in 1977. She's had it that long and just gave it to me. Now, I will say one thing. My dad used to go to the Orient a lot because he worked for Oxymetal Industries. Again, he was the man that helped perfect the paint that goes on offshore oil platforms. Damn him for not taking royalties. Anyway, he picked this up while in the Orient. So it is very Orient colored and looks. It's got dragons on it. So yeah, it's kind of a family heirloom. I'll pass it down to my son.
It's probably silk. It's worth money.
I need to move this over.
Even it's really old, and I'd be afraid to have it clean because I'd actually be afraid it would fall apart.
It will.
So I'm actually going to get a vacuum seal bag and vacuum seal it so it stays in the condition it's in.
Never dry clean silk, folks, unless you want to fry it forever.
Okay, there. I'm putting 2 links in there to online news stuff that is basically they're the ones reporting the truth when others are hiding it. So the one is actually is the story on the one. You guys can read it, figure out, take from it what you want, see what's out there. But the The second one is the one that exposed that Pennsylvania Democrat that wants to sterilize all
Early.
males when they hit 40 years of age, or if they have 3 kids, whichever comes first.
I got 3, and I'm over 40. I'm in trouble.
Right.
too.
And you're disabled.
Hey Emma, all you gotta do is go down to Florida. You find the Seminole down there.
All right. Let me go
Yeah.
ahead. All right. So where's the other one here? Where's the other one? Shoot.
I'm not firing off
Frontier.
my pew in here on camera. That would definitely get me shut down.
No, I'm trying to find something here real quick before I head out.
Though I may do it someday just for spite.
There it is. Let's see. All right, let me put this over here like this. Give me a second here, folks. I'm going to put another link out there here.
Yeah, Suburban, I've actually got to go pick some of that up before I do this.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Hey, Frontier Survival. Didn't see you sneak up on in here. Welcome.
Yeah. In Business Newsweek, a prominent East Coast superstore executive told everybody in his family and his immediate circle to buy food and store it now because they're going to be a markup across the board by every producer imaginable. McDonald's, Coca-Cola, you name it. It's going to be 10 to 17% across the board.
Al, I got to
depending
get out of
where
this. I
you're
want to say something real quick here. So I just put the link for my live stream, which is coming up. I'm going to go over and get it set up right now. There's the link for it. And I'll see you guys over there in about 10 minutes.
All right. See you there. And
All right.
Mouse, if you wish to, that would be a great help. I'm not going to say yes or no either way. But if you do, I greatly appreciate it. If you don't, no worries.
at. And Diggs back.
You're welcome back. Did I see a CR sneak up in here? I'm sitting
Yes.
here.
CR sneaked in and Frontier sneaked in.
Yeah, I seen Frontier.
Did you
And
get
CR.
P2E?
Another person north of the border. How be it up in Trudeau land? You got 5 minutes and 18 seconds to inform us of how it is up in Canada.
Or
Kraken do not
Ontario
get me
stand?
Do not get me started on the cost of food. I bought a package of hamburger patties, 4 hamburger patties, something I've been buying because, I don't like to, play with hamburger meat. I just want to thaw it out, throw it on the pan and cook it up for me and Charles. Didn't look at it, just picked it up, checked the price, didn't look at the weight because I had a couple other packages of hamburger underneath it. So package hamburger is cool. $8.25 for a package of hamburger. By the time I cooked them down, they were sliders, not hamburgers. 2 months ago, when I picked up the exact same spot on the shelf at Kroger's, they were quarter pound each for like $6, 6 and change. So yeah, if you don't have it now and you can't get it now, here soon, you ain't going to get it at all.
Right.
Prices are going up. Supply and demand. There is no supply and demand is high, which means prices are going to go up. So those who make money, i.e. executives, CEOs, chief financial officers, people who live in $250,000 and up dollar homes all over the U.S., drive 2 or 3 cars, have private jets, are making a killing right now. While you, me, and everybody else we know is going, crap, is there a package of hot dogs left at the store? I got to hurry up and get there. Oh, dang, they're all gone.
Right. And folks, if you kind of look at certain packages, they're shrinking sizes down. If you measure out the bacon sizes, it went down 1/4 inch. If you measure those jumbo hot dogs, last month they were standard hot dogs. They're switching packaging around and sizes of the hot dog. Also, in hamburgers, Dave doesn't like hamburger, but I used to work in the meat business, so I know what they're talking about. I have a butcher who's independent in our area, and he's having a tough time because he used to grind his own hamburger, but luckily he lives near Harris Ranch, and we got frozen cows to the gills. And he says he has to close down for a month to prepare hamburger for his customers. This is freshly ground, and he said he's just meeting his costs. because if he bought it pre-cut, it's more cost to you. If he goes out there, defrost the carcass, and sometimes I help him and I get I don't ask for cash because Uncle Alan don't believe in cash. I'll just take a third of the cow and I'll help him with 5 other cows get the saws out. And if you know what I'm talking about, the saws, they're not like little things you see in the grocery butcher shop. These are big ass saws and electric.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I'm
have
getting
one.
old.
I have one statement for everybody who's watching. And you expected the end times to look how? You expected the end times to be different how? Everything is biblical, folks. Whether you want to believe in the Bible or not, the Bible is predicted. Everything that's happening around the world. All you gotta do is read it. It's there. It doesn't mince words. It doesn't sugarcoat it. It doesn't hide it, and it doesn't kowtow to somebody's unicorn colored poo on their shirt. It tells you just the way it's going to happen, and it is. And you want to see something different happen, get on your knees and start praying. Because remember, God did one time in the Bible spare a nation. When he sent Jonah, who got to spend 3 days inside a fish. Oh, I can't imagine the stench. That would have been torture in and of itself. But he got to spend 3 days in the fish. And then he's sitting there going, yeah, I'm going to tell them this. They're not going to do nothing. God's going to destroy them. And God says, if they do as I ask, I will relent. I will withhold my judgment. They did. He relented for 40 years. So, yeah, if you want to see this country change, you better start praying. He may relent. I kind of think, though, this country's just a little too far past that. Doesn't stop me from praying for it. But I think we're a little too far past it. That being said, that's the end of tonight's live stream. Appreciate everybody out there. There's still 14 of you guys hiding out there in your homes, and I hope everything is safe and happy for you all. I do pray peace in your house, and I pray for protection of you and your families. And until next time, which will be here in a few minutes when we're all over at Gills, we'll talk to you later. Until then, be safe and God bless.
Night all.
Peace out.